Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the next panel of this IMS 2016, a keynote interview with Yann Pissenem. You got a microphone? Yeah. You've done a few IMS panels with me down the years, but this is the first one-to-one we've had. Can you tell people who you are? What's your role in the Ushuaïa story?
I'm one of the partners of Ushuaïa. I'm the artistic director, so I'm working on bookings, marketing, production, control of the event, security, all the things related with the event side, also restaurants and food and beverage, everything.
We'll get into the whole story pretty soon. But can you tell us a little bit about your story before Ibiza? Where were you born? Where are you from? What was your background before you came to Ibiza?
I'm French. Coming from a little village northeast of France, and I studied law in France, and then I went to Barcelona when I was 20 years old, studying tourism also. So I started as a waiter in a little bar in the Port Olympique just after the Olympic Games in Barcelona, and cleaning tables and cleaning everything a little bit. Then I work as a waiter, then I run the bar, then I build the bar with my ex-partner. Then I built another one, I built some clubs, I had a few after hours in Barcelona also, and I've done nearly 13 years in Barcelona with my own clubs, restaurants and afters. And then I decided to stop after a long run in Barcelona and to find a little beach club on an island, which was one of my first dreams. So I looked in the Canarias, I looked Mallorca, Menorca, I looked a little bit everywhere, and I had the opportunity to come to Ibiza, because one of my friends, the DJ, was here, and he brought me the option to buy a part of a little beach club here in Playa d'Embossa.
We'll come to that in a second, but I want to stay in Barcelona because this is something most people won't know anything about. You were involved in clubs there. What were you doing? You say you were running clubs. Were you doing your own events? What type of music was this?
In Barcelona, I started, as I told you, as a waiter, and then I built my own little bar. And then I started with after parties. I had 9 after parties in the north of Barcelona during a few years.
What type of music was this?
It was kind of underground music. In the morning, you know that people, it's a different kind of people, so it was a kind of underground music, deep house and good music, by the way. And I'm coming from a little bit more underground world, music-wise. Then I had also clubs, so I was also booking in the clubs people like David Guetta, or I started working with Steve Angelo, Sebastian Ingrosso in, if I remember well, 2000 or 99, the first time I booked them for a totally different fee than the fee they have right now. And I love music, so I was working with any kind of different type of music, depending the venue that I had. I had a few venues. I opened nearly more than 20 clubs in the 13 years that I was working in Barcelona.
And before you decided to come to Ibiza, you say you looked around and you wanted to find an island. You hadn't been to Ibiza at all before then?
Yes. I came twice to Ibiza. One with one of my public relations to see a little bit what was this magic island. Everybody was speaking about Ibiza. It was totally different time here. And another one with my brother, where I came to look a little bit the market and to check a little bit what was happening here. So it was crazy for us, like seeing artists on billboards and everything. We have really good memories about these two or three times I came before.
And okay, so let's start the Ushuaïa story then. This began as a beach bar in 2008, is that right?
Yes.
Can you start the story then? You said you found a beach bar and this was your dream to do this, but what was happening at this place at that time? What were you doing in terms of events and music?
Really, it was a little restaurant when I came. So when I came here to Ibiza, I was thinking that open air parties, there are much more open air parties than I saw when I came. So it was 4 big clubs with a lot of kids dancing after hours also, but you couldn't find when I came any afternoon parties. So the idea was to create in this little restaurant and some kind of open air parties in the afternoon. So I tried to change a little bit the timing of the events, and thinking that we can open the window to a lot of more crowd, giving the opportunity to a lot of people who can't or don't want to go to a club and wait for the big headliner at 5 in the morning, the opportunity to come and dance under the sun or under the moon. So it was for me a totally different concept to offer to have a crowd.
I mean, this hasn't happened overnight, the success you've had with Ushuaïa. I mean, this has been, 8 years now the project's been running? And
Yeah.
you told me the other day, the first years you were living in the bar with your dog, you used to sleep there, is that right?
Yeah. First year was a little bit hard because the concept was restaurant and then like tea dance party. So it works really well, but the partners I had sold the venue in the first winter, so I had to sleep with my dog in the first beach club and find another venue. We were really sure about this kind of concept, and I was really thinking that changing the time of the event could change a little bit also the kind of people who can come to the island, opening a lot the window to a lot of different people, a little bit older also, which were linked to electronic music 20 years ago, because in the university they were already listening electronic music. So we opened the party to the kids and also to a little bit older crowd with a different kind of understanding of music.
So you moved a little bit further down the beach, and this is when people started to really know about Ushuaïa, and you kind of threw some pretty famous and dangerous parties.
Yeah. The first year in the Little Beach Club was different, but then in the other one, we had some different artists coming in. I used to work with a lot of big DJs, I told you, in Barcelona, so we start working with Tania Vulcano, if I remember well. We had 2 or 3 parties on the beach weekly. We had also Luciano, we had also Sasha, and the concept was really working well because people were coming to have lunch and then we were partying in the afternoon till 12 p.m. And it was going really good. We had a really good party, which was one of the key points of the summer, with a back-to-back Luciano Sven Vath, like a kind of after party. It was 12 hours, it was amazing. And the first season was really good. So we had the closing party was, I think, the biggest event of the summer, which was the same day when Space was closing his club also. And we had a big show with more than 10,000 people on the beach with, if I remember well, it was Luciano, Richie, Loco Dice, and a lot of crowd on the beach. It was amazing.
Ibiza is never an easy place, so with this success probably came a few problems, and especially when you start putting so many people on the beach. How did the island kind of react to this? What were some of the problems you faced because of the success you had?
Okay, first year was okay because I think we did it fast. So the concept was different, it was new, the slot of time was different also, and people didn't really react. The closing party the same day as Space was a little bit more problematic, and the year after we really felt a different kind of pressure.
The clubs didn't like it, basically.
No, I think nobody liked it unless the crowd and the people which were coming to dance. So the product was going really good, but we received a lot of pressure from everywhere, and yes, we suffered a little bit the second year.
The kind of, looking back 5-6 years ago now, the jump from beach bar to the hotel seems like an enormous step. How did that even, the concept of having a hotel and going from a beach bar doing music parties, how did that come about?
The fact is, we were working in a venue which I was renting to my actual partner, and we were disturbing a lot on top of the club, also the people of the hotel in the back. So it was really difficult to operate the second year, and I had a meeting with him in the middle of the summer where they really told me that I had to stop. So we spoke a lot, and my idea is always on top of this different slot of time for doing events was always to create an amusement park for adults. And they had hotels, they had a really big vision of business. We spoke about it a lot. And I thought that it was really a good option to move the kind of product we had on the beach inside the hotel, also because of licensing and that kind of thing.
How did, when we were talking about the Matutes family here in the Palladium group, how did they kind of react and respond to the idea of an amusement park, as you say, for adults? What was their thoughts on this kind of concept?
They are great visionaries, so they got it at the same moment. I think they had also some big ideas about renovating their hotels and growing and developing new concepts. And I think when I came with this new brand and with this new option of having events in the afternoon and offering a different kind of show to the island, they totally catch it, and they totally thought that it was good for the island also to touch much more market and to bring a lot of people here.
What's the significance of the name Ushuaïa? Where's this come from? Why did you choose this?
It's a funny story, really. When I came first time on Playa d'Embosa beach, it was really, really, really empty, and it was like the end of the world. So Ushuaïa is the city at the total south of Patagonia, which is called normally the end of the world. For this, I choose this name and design this.
Let's talk a little bit about the music policy of the club, because it's kind of, it was kind of like a groundbreaking moment for the island, really, where you kind of, you kind of revolutionized how music and how the sound of the island kind of was perceived almost in many ways, because you've almost become, the perception is very much that Ushuaïa is an EDM club. That's kind of like what people think.
Yeah.
Was that kind of, even if that's not true, was that kind of part of the plan?
I understand the comment. I think, as I was telling before, Ushuaïa is an amusement park for adults. So when you run a so big business or a boat like that, you need to have a balance. And I think that in the electronic market, you have a percentage of people who understand and listen to electronic music more underground, if I can say, and then much more people which are listening EDM or commercial music on the radio. So I think you have to keep the proportion and the balance if you want the business to work. You need to give every kind of product and every kind of music to the clients. And I think we try to give the best experience every day, choosing the best headliners of the world and giving the right proportion of underground and commercial music. We are a big venue, we need to bring a lot of people, so we need to touch the mass also.
You talk about experience. I mean, one of the other big things about Ushuaïa is that it became much more than just a club night. The level of production you guys kind of go to was unheard of and unprecedented, and I know your brother's really deeply involved in this, Roman, isn't he? Can you explain a little bit about how that's developed?
Yes. First of all, I'm so happy to work with my brother, which is an amazing thing. He always had the idea of mixing electronic music and theater. I'm coming from clubbing, he's coming more from theater and show scene, and the fact that we can mix our work made this happen. No, we always try to build a kind of electronic show entertainment, mixing beautiful actions and coordinated shows with electronic music. And I think that now, in a place like Ushuaïa, where you can fit so much people, where you have this kind of amphitheater with a big stage, you can offer to the public, with all these new technologies and with the new understanding of electronic music of the people, this kind of electronic shows really, really well cooked. I mean, it's like a cooker with all the ingredients inside a show, and you can do something great.
Can you give us a couple of examples of some of the sort of more crazy things you've done production-wise?
Yeah, we had some really good moments. For example, the balloon of David Guetta. The first time we went out with this enormous grape of balloons and this acrobat hanging of it was a big moment. We also had, I don't know, Wycliffe Jean, for example, going down from a tower to the middle of the pool and jumping in the water from a zip. Or we fill full the pool of 500,000 ping pong balls and did a 3D mapping. I don't know. We tried to give the best experience to the people and to create each year a new and best production. So
one of the kind of key moments for the island, I think, in terms of how things worked and the dynamic how things worked, was when you managed to get David Guetta to do a residency at Ushuaïa, because at that time he still does have a residency at Pasha, and
yes.
That kind of changed the rules of how exclusivity worked. I mean, how did you actually manage to pull that off? Other than a big check, how did you actually manage to make that happen?
First of all, it was really difficult the first year to convince the artist to come to a different concept. Not everybody was understanding that we would be able to create a proper show and a proper experience in the afternoon, and the competition was hard, as you know, in Ibiza. I had a few friends and a few people who really understood the possibility of having afternoon and nighttime. One of them is Danny Whittle, who in that moment helped me a lot to make DJs and make people understood that it was possible to do both, to have a show at Ushuaïa and to play residency in Pacha. And on top of that, I think that if you have two venues and you have double visibility on billboards and marketing campaign, your image goes reinforced, no, by all these campaigns and all these promotions. So it's not bad for the artist, and it was a good combo and a good solution, because David Guetta is working really well at Pacha and really well at Ushuaïa, and Luciano at that moment was also doing Pacha and Ushuaïa, and it was great. So I don't see why we can't share the artist. It's much easier for everybody.
We don't have much time left, but I want to move quickly on to Ant, because I know this is probably, of all the parties at Ushuaïa, this is probably closest to your heart. It's kind of your party more than any of the others. Can you give us a bit of background on where this whole idea came from and what it means to you?
Yeah, Ant is a little bit our baby. No, that's true. We were trying to create an underground brand without using any big headliner at the beginning, and to give an opportunity to all the new emerging talent that we knew at that moment. The idea was to build an underground community, an underground group. What is more underground than Ant? Dress code in underground music is black, like we are dressed, you and me, today. and the name comes out like that. It was Join the Colony. It was creating this kind of underground community and give the opportunity to new talents to do that. We worked a lot on the marketing. We worked a lot on the lot of different aspects of the brand, and it works, and we are really happy about that.
One of the unique things about the party is how the event takes place, because it's it kind of, during the day it's different to how it works at the end of the night. Can you explain to everyone how it's different from other events at Ushuaïa?
Yeah. It's a little bit a different concept. It's a party who needs to grow more organically. We start a little bit earlier in the day. So we decided from the beginning with my team to start it from the little DJ booth at the back of Ushuaïa, and then at 9 normally, or at 10, we do a changeover and we pass to the main stage, which allowed the crowd to enjoy two different parties in one, and let the party grow in an easier way at the back, with a little bit of shade also, as we're starting early with the sun. It's much easier.
And you have a pretty big team working on Ant, don't you? How many people work for Ant as a promotional team? It's probably the biggest promotional team that's ever existed in Ibiza, I think.
Yeah, we try to work a lot on the visibility of Ant, on the marketing, as I said before, and we have a big Ant team. You saw with the morph suits in the streets. I think we have nearly 35 people working only on the promotion during all the week. The fact is they're working all the week instead of working a few days only for a party.
And how many people work for Ushuaïa now, as a company, as a group?
In Ibiza right now, a little bit more than 800 people, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
1,800?
No, 800 people 800. in Ushuaïa. I think for the events we are nearly 350, 360 people working, and then with hotels and everything, a little bit more than 800, 900.
You're going to hate this, but I have to ask you.
I'm coming for it.
A lot of people kind of see Ushuaïa as part of a rise in the VIP culture that's kind of maybe threatened the ethos and the magic of Ibiza. How would you respond to people when they might accuse you of that?
Yeah, okay. So first of all, I think VIP, you always had VIP in the island. I remember Ku or Pacha, for example, you always has this VIP concept. I also think that if you go to theater, or you go to the opera, or you go to the ballet, since always you had different prices in the different places wherever you want to sit, or even if you go to a concert, you can pay more or less depending the position or where you're going to be seated. I also think that probably what changes the kind of VIPs. I mean, they were probably different in the 60s or the 70s when Freddie Mercury was coming, all the people were coming, they were VIPs, but they were not the same kind of VIPs. With globalization of music, now you have different kind of people being VIPs, and a lot of people from other countries that we don't really know, which are people with money coming to the clubs. With the timing of our events also in the afternoon, we're giving opportunity to older people to come to the venue. So I mean, the kids are going to be in the crowd for sure because they're partying in front of the stage. But if you're 40 years old or 45 and you're linked to electronic music since 20 years, you not automatically want to be in the middle of the crowd. You probably have a little bit more money because you're a little bit older, and maybe you want to enjoy an electronic show like that and see your favorite DJs in Ushuaïa or in an open-air venue. So you're going to try to have a little space in a different area, no? I understand all the story about VIPs and too much VIPs or whatever, but yes, this is a little bit.
As always, we're kind of rapidly running out of time, but there's one topic that we definitely need to speak about just quickly. And I don't think you've actually officially ever talked about this, so this is kind of going to be a big moment for you to say something about this. Yesterday we had Pepe Roseo talking about the end of space. It's kind of the worst kept secret in the world that you are going to be running that next year. What are the plans? What can you tell us?
Yes, first person I'm going to speak about this. It's true. Yes. First of all, for me, after the amazing and fabulous, incredible work and job that Pepe has done in the last 27 years, it's a big honor. I'm glad, I'm proud, and I'm stepping into this incredible venue with a lot of respect. And it's also a big responsibility for me. For the international scene and the electronic scene, and I'm really happy. I'm really happy to have the opportunity to give to the island a new era of an amazing club.
I mean, are you going to knock it down?
I can't do it. No, I can't do it.
And what's the name going to be? I know this is another big secret. What's the name of the club going to be?
You can, yeah, I'm still working on the name.
You know the name. You can tell us now. It's fine.
I'm not ready right now to speak about the name, but yes, I'm not even 100% sure that I'm going to change it or not. The point is that I'm going to try to do my best to give the best product and the best experience as we always try to the clients and to the people which are going to come to the island.
We're out of time, so best wishes. Thanks for telling us a little bit about the Ushuaïa story.
Thank you for bringing me.
Yann Pissenem, ladies and gentlemen, thanks.
Thank you.